Welcome back, everyone. Today I am in Slovakia, actually, Banska Bystrica. It's a beautiful city in central Slovakia. And I'm here with my good friend, Zach.
What's up?
Who is an American artist, amazing artist, by the way. And he's going to show us around.
Let's do it. I literally just watched Wall-E like 2 days ago. And you see all the people just sitting in the chairs. And, they don't even know the person's next to them, and they like flip the thing open, and she's like, "What? Whoa!" You just lose that actual interaction, you know. I mean, like digital things obviously have their advantages. Like we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for the digital world, you know. Yeah, but at the same time, I very much appreciate the analog things, you know, like crafting and doing stuff with my hands, like. I love it.
I just read this book, actually. It's called Digital Minimalism. I think I was telling you about it. And he said that we were designed, like our brains were designed such that when we do something with our hands, we manipulate the physical world around us. It inherently brings satisfaction with it. Whereas our brains weren't necessarily designed to do that with digital things. So, you know, when you type something instead of writing it, a lot of times you don't absorb that information the same way you would otherwise.
Yeah, again, even with the journals and stuff, like writing, like people like handmade leather journals. They like original pieces of art.
And when you mentioned journals too, for example, like I think there's a huge advantage in having a leather journal versus something on your iPad, because really when it comes down to it, if you're going to try and journal on your iPad, you're constantly fighting with Instagram, you're constantly fighting with YouTube, all these other distracting sources that are pining for your attention. And I use this metaphor in other videos too, but about like the Swiss Army knife. You know, you just, because it's a tool with so many functions, you almost never use it. So a journal has one function, you write things in it. And of course, when you pull out your journal or you have it on your table, that's what you're going to do with it.
And if you came in my room and you probably smelled leather, right? Like, you know, when you grab one of these, like, I smell the leather. Like, it smells so good. Like, so when somebody, and that's what I made several for gifts for people, but like, when they grab this and they're just like, I grab my journal in the morning, and it's already an experience, like the feel of the leather, the smell of the leather, the like smell of the pages, the way the ink comes out on the pen, like, it's an experience. When I open my computer or something, or my tablet, I'm like, it's not that same experience. It's like, oh, what are all the things that I can touch and mess with now that are gonna take away from what I was originally going to do?
I learned from a book called Atomic Habits that if you ever want to get stuff done, you need to create a clear context for like that thing. So for example, if you want to be creative and you want to be working on journals or, you know, or drawing, the way you do that is by engaging as many senses as possible in that particular context, and that's the only thing you do in that space. But I mean, when you sit down at that table and you smell the leather, and you have every single artwork around you, of course it's just gonna like zone you in on creativity and get you prepared for that.
All right, when I come in here, it's also my free space, but I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it, and I want to do these things and the stuff around me. You know, granted, I have my computer over here, which is a bad idea, because next thing I know, I'm playing League of Legends for like 6 hours, and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I'm just angry.
Well, I think that's the thing too, is I think people have to realize that they can give themselves a break. You know, of course, you're not going to be perfectly productive all the time. And I think what this represents, what you're doing here, is like the highest forms of leisure, right? And the thing about high forms of leisure is while they are a form of relaxation for your brain, they're also hard to initiate. You need to get into that flow state, right? It takes time to get there, and it takes effort to get there. But once you're there, then you could just go for hours and you get lost in it, and that's such a beautiful thing. But there are some times where it's hard to get to that state, and you know, I'm still guilty of playing video games. I'm trying to do it in a more intentional way now. Like if I am going to play video games, I try to do it with friends. In order for us to like get into that flow state, you cannot have distractions around you. Like, you need these long blocks of time. In fact, people like Bill Gates would retreat to the woods for a week by themselves and like lock themselves away so that they could just focus on what was important in their company or in their lives or whatever. So when you're trying to go get into a flow state in sketching, you want to get lost in it. If you have all these things pinging around you, good luck. You know, they have a curve that kind of describes your productivity in the thing you're trying to do. And what'll happen is over time, as you spend 2 hours into that project, towards the middle, towards the end of that, your productivity just soars, and that's when you enter that flow state. But what happens is people are with these distractions all around them all the time, is they're getting their attention just chopped into these tiny little fragmented pieces that never allow them to do anything meaningful, right? So it's very interesting, and something that kind of humbled me, because I used to think the more connected I was, the better. Now I'm realizing it's the opposite.
Right.